Hello everyone, welcome back. This is KJ4YZI, HamRadioConcepts, and I want to show you the RadioWavz 10-meter double bazooka. This brings me back in the day when I made my own double bazooka on 11 meters using old cable TV coax. This is a commercial version from RadioWavz. They make some good stuff. It's quite simple. It's really not magic. But I want to show you what this thing will do at 10 watts on some FT8, as well as how it'll work with an inverted V configuration versus a sloper. We're going to set it up as a sloper, and we're going to try to get some other DX going, but very simple. I want to show you about this. This is a great backpack antenna. Measures 16.6 inches, takes up less space in the inverted V configuration. You'll see how small the footprint is on top of my carbon fiber mast. It's just something that is great for anybody to have, especially technicians. If you're a tech and you want to get on 10-meter sideband, 10-meter CW, 10-meter FT8, you can do this with the 10-meter double bazooka. I asked them for this at Orlando Hamcation. I got this and I got the other one. I made another video on just a regular 10-meter dipole, not as broadbanded as a double bazooka, but let me show you about this right now on HamRadioConcepts.
HamRadioConcepts is brought to you by HamRadioPrep.com. It's never been easier to learn about ham radio before you take the exam. And Ham Radio Prep makes it fun and guarantees your success. Visit HamRadioPrep.com. Use the code ERIC20 to instantly save 20% off every course you buy. Remember the name, HamRadioPrep.com.
Now, for those who don't know, typically a bazooka or double bazooka is made using coax as the radiating elements. Why? I did this with some 75 ohm coax years ago for an 11 meter antenna. It was a double bazooka. I used PVC and SO239. And as a simple dipole with the coax instead of wire, no static discharges or exposed wiring, so the static is down. And the diameter of this coax compared to the diameter of something like wire makes it very broad banded. So you can go from the CW portion to the FM portion, no tuner needed. I've been saying this till I'm blue in the face. No tuner. I don't like non-resonant antennas, and I don't care what you say. Leave your comment below and attack me. Just don't use profanity because those get deleted. Anyways, the double bazooka antenna is extremely broad-banded half-wave antenna which can operate efficiently across an entire ham band with little change to the SWR. Very good. It was developed by the staff at MIT in the early 1940s for use by the government as a radar antenna. It was modified for amateur radio use in the 1950s. Does not radiate harmonics. 98% efficient. Will handle full legal limit. Really good stuff. Now I'm going to show you one more thing here. In RadioWavz, you know, they got a plethora of stuff for their catalog. Okay, I'm going to show you this. So you can set it up in many ways. Okay, the red tab is always up. So when you look at this, the red tab is always up. All right. Horizontal, if you want to do a horizontal or vertical. Okay, sloper, inverted V, and an L. First, I'm going to set it up as an inverted V. Check that out with some FT8, some other stuff. Then I'm going to set it up as a sloper. I want to set it up as a sloper and see the difference because I don't do much with sloper antennas. So we're going to check that out. There's more information in here. We will leave that alone. Let's check out and set up the double bazooka by RadioWavz. So up here, way up here. Oh man, that sun's blinded me. Blinded by the light. Revved up like a deuce. There we go. So there is the RadioWavz double bazooka at its highest. We're up at about 29 feet on this carbon fiber mast and tripod, and I have it only tied to a tree over there. And what did I tie it to? Oh, I tied it to my tower. It's still not up. It's still not up, but there it is. It's way up there, man. That little 10-meter dipole, about 8 point something feet on each side, and it's up about 30 something feet. So it's about as high as I would want to get it, as high as it needs to be. And somebody just hit something huge with that mower. I got some FT8 here. ICOM 705 on 10 meters with the RadioWavz double bazooka. We are transmitting. The time is not right. Okay. And look, so Hotel Charlie 3 Romeo Juliet. Up here we got Lima Uniform 7 Delta X-Ray Quebec. Papa Yankee 2 November Delta. Hotel Kilo 3 Romeo Alpha Yankee. Lima Uniform 5 Juliet Bravo. So looking at the pskreporter.info site, this was 10 watts on FT8. See right here, 10 meters. Signal sent and received by the call sign KJ4YZI using FT8 over the last 24 hours because that was yesterday. And you can see if I zoom in, a lot of North America, a lot of South America, and even over here in Australia. Look at that. KJ4YZI was received by Victor Kilo 3 Echo Victor. And that was 15,480 kilometers, and the other one is 15,233 kilometers. So all this right here proves that at 10 watts, and the way I have this oriented is about this way. Like, it's not north and south. It's almost facing up here, this way like this. That's the orientation on the tripod at the moment. But still, off the sides of that, you can see over here, I got, South America over here to the west coast. So he's yelling now. He hit something over there. Not looking good. Anyways, there it is. Way up there. And people have been asking about that carbon fiber tripod, mast and tripod. Guys, I'm telling you, I'll put the link in the description. I did forget to do it on one video, but that thing just looks cool up there. It's an inverted V. It is very lightweight and portable. It is working quite well. All right, check this out. So from 27.144, so it's in the CB band. Watch the SWR. It's 1.8, right? Watch this. We're already in CW in 10 meters. Look. There's a call, past the call-in frequency 1.5 to 1. Look at this. Almost up into 29. There's AM. 1.85 to 1, that's good. Here's FM portion, 2.3. So, very, very usable across the entire 10-meter band down into 11 meters. At 1.5 to 1 is very acceptable at 10 meters down to the FTA frequency if you go like this. There, 1.38 to 1. So definitely broad band. All right, so this sloper is a little bit not sloping as much as I want going to the tree and to the top of that mast. That mast is pulling a little bit. Of course, I'm not worried about it breaking. I'm worried about the bottom with the center block coming up. But that is in the sloper configuration, so let's see what this does. Oh, Juliet number 4, Yankee Zulu India, KJ4YZI, roger. As a sloper, it seems that I still have a lot of U.S. here, some Caribbean, and a lot of the South America. But you also see over here, right off the coast of Africa, you got this island over here and a little bit of Europe. Now, if I could have, went a little longer, or if you had 100 watts, that would have probably been a lot more fruitful over to here in the Europe. The way this is facing right now as a sloper, if I looked at my backyard, kind of picture this gray line right here, and it would be a little bit more of a tilt. So let's call it, watch my mouse, call it like this. Facing towards what? Greenland? Iceland up here? That's kind of the way it's sloping this way. So not exactly to my almost east to Europe. But you can see that with 10 watts, look what it still did. A lot of this. So if you have to set it up as a sloper, If you don't want to set up as a sloper and you want to do inverted V, the results for South America and the U.S. are similar. I think as an inverted V, of course, we had Australia. We had a little more over here on the west coast of Florida. And again, that was the V going just about north and south. If I put the V east and west, maybe I'd go all the way over here to Japan, maybe all the way to Hawaii, all the way to Europe. But, it just depends on how you set it up in your yard. You do have a little more gain off of the, picture your antenna, and it's, the way your antenna is facing the wires, that's where you would have more of your gain. Not really too much gain, but you have a little bit of a null off the broad side of the dipole. So let's say this line here, like this, is your dipole. Let's say this dot is your house, and you have your dipole this way. Your signal would travel off this side and this side, and theoretically, you'd have a little bit less off this side and this side. But for those new techs or new ham radio operators, the band will do what it wants. If the propagation is there, don't worry about where you're positioning your antenna. It's going to happen with the ionosphere and the solar cycle and the sunspots. It's going to make its way wherever it wants.
Don't you worry about the hit over the head, man. I'm just worried about where we're going from here. Is it the stratosphere, man? Is it the ionosphere?
So that's why I say always call CQ and never worry about which way your dipole is positioned. You may get a little more of an advantage facing it one way or another, but you never know where your signal is going to be heard. Now, as a sloper configuration, this is the SWR. It's less than 3-to-1, up almost to FM. But you saw the difference between that and an inverted V. So it depends on how you set it up, what you're near, what you're connected to, how you set it up, how close it is to your mast, and stuff like that. But as a sloper, not as resonant as an inverted V. It's very simple. You can make one yourself, but if you want one that's pre-made, ready to go, in your go kit for 10 meters, there it is right there. The RadioWavz Double Bazooka as an inverted V. Thanks for watching. 7-3. This is KJ4YZI.